Fam, what's going on? It's Kyle Henderson of Bama Football on YouTube. Can I get a roll tide inside the comment box? I appreciate you guys being here. We made it to Monday, and I hope that you had a blessed weekend. I hope that you had time to spend time with your family, and I hope that you had time to catch some Alabama football intel. I appreciate you guys. Let me give some shout outs as we get going, as we always do. Let me know where you're watching from inside the comment box. We got Chris from New Jersey. We got Jeff. We got Caitlin up in the house. We got James. We got Ponderosa. We got Banks up in here. We got Caitlin DeBoss and everybody up in here on Bama Football on YouTube. If you want to become a fan funder, we appreciate you guys. It really supports the product. It literally supports me. $2.99. Put the link inside the description box, or you can go to the homepage and just click the link that says Fan Fund Bama Football on YouTube. Super chat certainly appreciated. Today on the show, we're talking some scrimmage intel. We're going to go 1 through 8 and kind of rehash what we learned from the scrimmage and then Fan Day, which was open to anybody in the entire universe. You could have went over there and watched, you could have had Kirby Smart over there. Got a little taste of the Alabama Crimson Tide. What's up, Timothy? I appreciate you, man. It was hot, but it was an opportunity for fans that were members of Yay Alabama. If you want to sign up for that, go to Yay Alabama and learn more to get autographs from the team and the players. It was cool. And it wasn't cool. It was hot, but another opportunity to showcase these players in a positive light, and got a little taste of what the offense could have in store. So we're going to talk about that. Jimmy, I appreciate the compliments, man. Jimmy's coming to us from Gulf Shores. We have another Jimmy up in here, and then we got Jeff as well, man. I appreciate you. What's up, Carrick? I appreciate you, man. I see you inside the comment box as well. Before we get to that kind of scrimmage intel and start talking about it, let's talk about the scrimmage game balls. And I appreciate it if you guys would hit the thumbs up. Hey, David in with the super chat. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Roll Tide to you, man. I hope you're off to a fantastic start on Monday. Okay, let's start on the left and go to the right. Now, from the scrimmage notes, now it was a closed scrimmage on Saturday and then was open on Sunday. Look, Alabama is going to have an open scrimmage every single year. And that's not to give away their plans. It's basically just kind of a celebration of the team and to kind of give you a little taste of what's to come. It was very vanilla, but you do have an opportunity to see the guys working in action, and it was a really good opportunity. So the weekend game balls go like this. We'll start out with Ryan Williams. Look, there's no way to put it. I mean, the first touchdown of the scrimmage went to Ryan Williams from Jalen Milroe. Was Ryan Williams working with the first team on Sunday as well? Yeah, he really was. It was amazing to see because he lines up. So does Cole Adams, who also makes this game ball list. He's in the slot. And on the other side, it was Jeremy Bernard. Does that mean that's the starting rotation? I don't know. It means it was some sort of a rotation that was starting for, this open Fan Day, and he caught a touchdown pass from Jalen Milroe. So, yeah, it looks like Ryan Williams is going to play sooner than later, and that's okay. I mean, the guy is the man. Two-time Mr. Football winner from the state of Alabama. Let me ask you, out of all the sites and the articles and the million different YouTube channels, which, by the way, go support them all because I think they do a great job, and there's some amazing content creators. You hearing Ryan Williams starting? Just type, if you're hearing that Ryan Williams is starting with the first team, type in why, right? I'm not making this stuff up. I mean, we saw it. I mean, it's factually happening. So are you seeing that Ryan Williams, let's put it like this. Are you hearing that Ryan Williams is running with the first team? Type why if you're also hearing that. I saw it with my own eyes. I was there. Look, Carrick, what's up, man? Mr. Taylor up in the house, man. Jeff, see what I'm saying? What was surprising me is he catches the first touchdown of the scrimmage. Right? It's a 50-yard touchdown. Had to give him a game ball. So go out to this fan scrimmage, and they start running like some 11-on-11. Basic stuff. I mean, it's not even, I would say it's like 85% that the guys are going, right? They're not even tackling to the ground. And first play, you have Ryan Williams split out to the wide side. Then you have Cole Adams, and on the opposite side, you have Jeremy Bernard. First pass, Jalen Milroe gets it. Boom. It's an immediate hitch route to Ryan Williams, right? He did that a couple times. First guy he looks to. Now, when he caught the 50-yard touchdown, still talking about Ryan Williams, it was against Deshaun Jones. Deshaun Jones is the transfer in from Wake Forest, okay? Look, I get it. Guy played a lot at the ACC. The ACC is not the SEC, right? I mean, I didn't make that up. I mean, Greg Sankey said that. So, right, see, everybody's saying yes, that they're hearing Ryan Williams running with the first team. Another guy that we'll come back to LT. We'll talk about the offensive game balls, and we'll come back to the defensive guys. Another guy that, and this wide receiver, I actually put him on the thumbnail. I need to get a photo from him from the University of Alabama. But Cole Adams, Cole Adams, man, you got two very talented slot wide receivers. You know, I would throw in Bubba Hampton as well. I saw him make a play yesterday on the sideline. He's number 21 in the footage. Bubba Hampton's legit as well. But let's talk about Cole Adams. Cole Adams in there at the slot. You have Ryan Williams, then Cole Adams. I think, what was it, Jamarcus Shepard? Someone called him Mr. Reliable. Someone that can go across, be a speedy type receiver. I mean, I like that combination. And look, and we were talking about Kendrick Law, of course, and we were talking about Emmanuel Henderson, of course. But Cole Adams, man, I think this could be certainly a guy that turns heads and catches a lot of passes from Jalen Milroe this season, right? Chris, you're saying it exactly right inside the comment box, that it really is an embarrassment of riches in terms of that wide receiver depth, right? You swap out Ryan Williams, Kendrick Law, right? Swap out Cole Adams, Kobe Prentice, swap out Jeremy Bernard, Emmanuel Henderson. Alabama, I mean, the 6 top wide receivers for Alabama, I mean, they might all be starters in some various formations. Doesn't matter the first guys that get out there. I was really impressed with Cole Adams. I'm serious. He is really fast. He has really good hands. In fact, he caught a touchdown pass in the scrimmage from Ty Simpson, right? I think it was like a 20, and in fact, it was a really good catch. So, man, there's a lot of guys in that wide receiver room that can absolutely play at the ultimate highest level. Can't wait to see Cole Adams in action this coming season, and proud of him, man. You know, this is a guy who doesn't get a lot of notoriety. That's why I wanted to bring him kind of to the forefront. A guy that is another great ambassador for the University of Alabama, but doesn't get a lot of notoriety. So please continue to support these student athletes. Follow them on Instagram. Help them build up their social brand. And a guy that's certainly turning heads. I mean, there's no way to say it. Yeah, and I think, Timothy, you're right, man. We got some sleeping stars on this roster. That's a really good way to put it. I mean, and if you look at kind of sleeping stars, I mean, Cole Adams could certainly be one of them. I want to talk about that tight end room, too, because there's a lot of tight ends that were rotating. Probably the most rotation that I saw of any guys was the tight end room. C.J. Dupree looked really good. Cuevas, you know, Robbie Oots. I mean, all those guys kind of getting in and out. We'll talk about more of that going forward. Hit the thumbs up. I appreciate you. We have 121 in. If we can get more on board, I'd appreciate it. Thank you so much for hitting the thumbs up and choosing to be with Bama Football on YouTube right here this morning on Bama Football on YouTube. And I don't know who Ryan Williams is comparable to. Devontae Smith, Jerry Jeudy. Look, it's way too early, I think, to compare him to those greats. But I think from the kind of the size-wise, he might be a blend of Jerry Jeudy and Devontae Smith, which is absolutely terrifying. You saw him making that one-handed catch from that photo of the Tuscaloosa News, right? And then, you know, all the photos that Alabama has been putting up, and then what we saw from the open scrimmage. I mean, the guy's doing it. Let's talk about Jalen Milroe. We're going to talk about him, too, when we talk about the scrimmage intel, but absolutely loading up for a prime season. For everybody out there that wants to continue to hate, stop. I mean, you're just, at this point, you're just wasting air. Jalen Milroe, it comes out in that scrimmage. He's 4 of 4, throws a touchdown pass to Ryan Williams, comes back out, throws another touchdown to Jam Miller. I get it. It's on busted coverage, but you still got to see the busted coverage open running back to the side, right? Looked like a wheel route from Alabama's highlights. And then he threw another touchdown pass that we didn't talk about, and that one went to C.J. Dupree, a tight end who was very, very capable. And, you know, I just think Jalen Milroe is prime. Now, I said in the scrimmage, in the information I got, it looked like a 40-yard scramble touchdown. I think it was less than 40 yards, but still, he's able to use his legs and get into the end zone for a touchdown. So whether it was 40, whether it was 20, he got in the end zone for 6. So he had 4 touchdowns in the opening scrimmage. So you want to talk about guys who are absolutely loading up. And, you know, the rest of the world of college football, they're probably not surprised to hear it. But there's a lot of people that, you know, want some quarterback controversy over here at the university. There's no quarterback controversy. Everybody knows who the quarterback is on this team, in this city, in this state. And that's no disrespect to Ty Simpson, who also had a very good scrimmage. We're going to talk about the scrimmage intel next, kind of rehash the scrimmage and Sunday's practice, which is open to anybody in the entire universe. LT Overton is a guy I think he had, finally his showing. Patriot Life, what's up, man? I see you inside the comment box. Banks, what's going on, man? See you coming in from Jasper. Robert, what's going on, man? Appreciate you, rocking with us this morning, man. Thank you so much. Ryan is saying Ryan Williams kind of like, Robert is saying Ryan Williams more like JMO. Could be a blend of all three because he does have some length to him. He's fat. I haven't seen him really like quite burn yet. But man, 50-yard touchdown, that's impressive. LT Overton, I think, had his first, kind of strong showing. Because I think, he's had a pretty good fall camp, to be honest, but we're kind of like waiting. When is he going to rise up? Well, during the scrimmage, he was an absolute menace. I mean, everybody was talking about the play of LT Overton, which is promising because you start to look at that defensive line. I mean, I've talked about this, and we're going to run through the depth chart as we always do. There's so many, the rotation that you can keep in is great, and there's nothing wrong with that because you know how hot it's going to be on August 31st. You think it's going to cool down? Even September in Tuscaloosa is a sneaky hot month. Okay, so really happy to hear LT Overton stock on the rise for sure. And then Malachi Moore, he did have an interception, and that was off Jalen Milroe in the end zone. So Malachi Moore, and you know what? The thing about Malachi Moore, I already think that he's the next kind of great defensive back, and that's a big word to use because you look at the Alabama greats, right? I mean, so many guys out of the secondary are playing in the NFL. The story about Malachi Moore is great because of the person that he is, the player that he is, and the fact that he came back for unfinished business. You want leadership? Look at Malachi Moore and Jalen Milroe. Anytime you have ambassadors like this for the program and you already have leadership and guys who are accountable and understand kind of the vision game by game, what leadership is, guys who have lost a championship, guys who have won, it spills over. So Malachi Moore, of course, prime for a really, really big year. Really happy to see it for the young man. All right, let's talk about the scrimmage intel and kind of pair that with Sunday's scrimmage as well. Kyle Henderson, Bama Football on YouTube. I appreciate you guys being here. 157 watching. If we could get the thumbs up, I'd appreciate it. Super chats, always appreciated. Thank you very much, David. And then if you want to take it up a step further, become a fan funder for $2.99. You get to use the emojis. Someone hit some emojis inside the comment box to show what our fan funders get. And I appreciate you guys. A thumbs up, like, whatever. It's all good. I appreciate all of it. Thank you very much. Very blessed to be in this position to be able to talk Alabama football, understand the responsibilities that come running with this channel, and I try to bring my energy level every single day to the show, and I hope that kind of spills over into your day as well. Southern Red, what's up? I see you inside the comment box. And then also too, look, all these other recruiting sites, fan channels, YouTube channels that continue to pop up, go support them. Watch their shows, support their content. There is some great content creators out there. A lot of them used to work for this channel. And if they've moved on in different roles, please support them, as well as the bigger sites, that are out there. Rivals, 24/7, On3. A lot of those guys, I know a lot of those guys, and they're doing the best to bring you Alabama Crimson Tide football coverage. Same thing with the university. They're cranking up things as well. So, plenty to go around. And definitely check out all the coverage right there so you can get fed. Before we get really fed on August 31st, it's amazing that there's still that there will be college football this month, right? Alabama plays on August 31st, which is crazy. All right, scrimmage intel, let's kind of start up top, and then we'll go all the way to the bottom. So we got Jalen Milroe ready to make a statement. As I mentioned, he got a game ball from me in terms of that being loaded. And I think this guy, even though he doesn't say it, I think that he certainly knows what people think. There's more than a handful of people that think that he can't get it done. He's going to get it done. Just wait. You can keep my receipts for sure. The play, you know what, Robert, what's up, man? I see you inside the comment box coming to us from Ohio. He threw a short pass to Ryan Williams, and people still mad about the short intermediate passing game. It's He threw a deep ball for a touchdown. You see him throwing short passes. What else do you want? Are you not entertained? He even uses his legs to score touchdowns. 4 touchdowns in the scrimmage. All right, man. And I think, you know what? Tommy Rees didn't have a good game plan for him. He didn't. He didn't utilize Jalen Milroe effective. And that offensive line, it wasn't it. And, a lot of it was on, some of those sacks for sure were on Jalen Milroe. Some of those throws were on Jalen Milroe for sure. It's fine. You grow up. Look at the way that he played against, the beginning of the season towards the back end of the season. Like that Georgia game. Go watch the Georgia game. Alabama wouldn't have won the SEC championship if it wasn't for this young man. All right, let's talk about the backup quarterbacks, Ty Simpson, Austin Mack, and Dylan Lonergan. Ty Simpson had a very good showing in the scrimmage as well, throwing 2 touchdown passes, one to Josh Cuevas. Josh Cuevas is Alabama's tight end who transferred here from Washington. I think he's very similar to C.J. Dupree in terms of like an athletic type tight end. I don't know, hearing that he has really good hands. So he might be a guy, the tight end room might be a room that kind of like took a step forward for me from Saturday and Sunday. Because I continue to be like, these guys don't have an overly dynamic, playmaker in the room, but I think they're capable. There's some very athletic tight ends. C.J. Dupree caught a touchdown. Josh Cuevas caught a touchdown. Maybe that kind of shows us, too, the schematics of how Coach Kalen DeBoer's offense is going to utilize the tight ends, right? Kevin Lynch with the emoji that says Vols suck, for sure. Got you. Austin Mack, didn't hear too much about Austin Mack. Heard he had a good showing. Heard he threw a really good pass to Caleb Odom. That was that one-handed snag by Caleb Odom. So think about it. You have a 6'6", 6'7" quarterback throwing to a 6'5" wide receiver, Caleb Odom. Oh, don't forget about Caleb Odom. My goodness. When you're looking at, Caleb Odom and what he brings, man, he's very talented. Watching kind of the fan footage right here and watching what he's able to do, it was really amazing to see Ryan Williams, right? And then after that, you have Caleb Odom. And the thing about each of those guys is they are each freshmen, right? Sorry, I had to clear my throat. So when Caleb Odom, the guy, he runs good routes. He's got really good hands. And, I think they're going to utilize him as well, right? It's like sometimes you forget about all those wide receivers. We talk about 6 of them and don't even mention like Jaron Hamilton or, a player like Caleb Odom. That's not out of disrespect. That's 8 wide receivers that we're talking about. All these guys look good, right? The defensive linemen, they were just running through drills, just like individual drills. A lot of people talking about Tim Keenan because Tim Keenan, 326 pounds, and he comes out looking like he could run with like a fullback or something like that. All right, we'll get back to the footage in just a second. Sorry, I got the workout in this morning. I was crushing it. I'm not gonna lie, I was crushing in that workout this morning. Remember, stay active, get going, take care of yourself. Dylan Lonergan, you know what? I haven't heard like a update on him. I saw him yesterday, working with the offense. I think he's still capable. When the opportunities come, he threw that touchdown to Ryan Williams that we were talking about, that one that looked like Bigfoot footage, but not a lot to report on Dylan Lonergan other than he's just kind of making the progress and where he needs to be within that quarterback depth chart and where he is within the process. Still really high on him. The offensive overview. Look, I don't know how Alabama is going to utilize, once again, talking about their wide receivers. I just think that there's not going to be just 3 set starters. I think they're going to be able to go 6, 7, 8 deep, whether it's Ryan Williams, whether it's Kendrick Law, whether it's Jeremy Bernard, whether it's Kobe Prentice. I think there's going to be a lot of other guys that can just step up. Kobe Prentice, Cole Adams. There's too many guys. They're all number ones. I don't know how you can keep those guys off the field, but I think you can keep them fresh. So I'm curious to see if, who emerges as kind of like the target. And look, stepping up inside, for like, so look, if you've ever played football, if you've ever played sports, you just step up to, like, if there's Cole Adams right there. You just step up and take the rep, right? If there's a line of guys, you can just step up to the front and take the rep. The guy stepping up to take the first team reps is Ryan Williams. Everybody saw it. He's 17 years old, stepping in front of everybody just to take the reps, like the first team reps. That's how it goes. The guy wants to eat, and he's excited to contribute and excited to get fed. So when talking about Alabama's offense, man, just so dangerous. And everybody was asking on Sunday where Jam Miller was. Richard Young saw limited action. they had a scrimmage that was very physical on Saturday. So a lot of these guys, granted, it's just kind of a fan, practice on Sunday. A lot of these guys, in recovery mode on Sunday, ice, heat. So that's why. I mean, Jam did score a touchdown off, reception. Justice Haynes had a really nice 20-yard run. I'll tell you what, we're going to talk about him in just a minute. But, man, Daniel Hill, man, I saw Daniel Hill yesterday rip a runoff that maybe must have been like 25 yards. So like and he looked shifty, and I was looking, I was like, who is that? Like who's the running back? And it was Daniel Hill. And I was like, damn, like he's 241 pounds moving like that. I didn't know. I didn't know this. I didn't know that Daniel Hill could move like that. I'm serious. He looked just as elusive as Justice Haynes. It was crazy. I just like stop and look. I was like, 41? Offensive line, you know what the offensive line looks at. We've talked about that many times with the offensive line rotation in terms of the offensive depth chart. I mean, this is what the depth chart looks like. Caden Proctor, Tyler Booker, Parker Brailsford, Jaden Roberts, Wilcom Formby. When Tyler Booker's not in there, you have some other capable guards that can step up. Olas Allenin. You have, even Gino Vandermark, who transferred from Michigan State. He can step up as well. As I mentioned, last week, it was Friday night. I saw Caden Proctor at Wilcom Formby here in Tuscaloosa at Northridge High School Spirit Night. And they looked like, absolutely twin towers. The high school guys looked like a Yaffle team. All right. And then I updated this graphic as well, the wide receiver depth chart. Look, this is what I saw on Sunday, yesterday. Again, this is a scrimmage open up to everybody in the entire world. Anyone could have went. This is what I saw. Saw Ryan Williams, Jeremy Bernard, and Cole Adams with the first team. Now, Coach Kalen DeBoer has mentioned this before you go off and say that these are the first team guys. He's mentioned that there's a rotation of starters within the wide receiver room. But that's what it looked like to me. You could see the footage that I uploaded. Those are the guys that came out. I don't think that these guys are really second team type guys. I just think yesterday, they were mixing and matching. Maybe they're trying to throw off everybody. It doesn't matter. It's just like that's how deep Alabama is. Case of the super chat, man. Appreciate it. Our offense is going to be electric this year, no doubt. The pressure this year is going to be all on the defense. Roll Tide, roll. And you know what? I'll be honest. I think the offense is ahead of the defense. Usually it's the defense that is ahead of the offense. In my experience, I think the offense is ahead of the defense. Right? Doesn't mean that the defense isn't going to catch up. David saying that I heard that Overton gave Proctor some. Dude, Overton, like LT was having a day. That's what I heard too. I didn't see the scrimmage. Nobody saw the scrimmage. I was getting updates. Go back to the scrimmage intel. Talked about Cole Adams. Just please, and I know, you know what? I don't think anybody is sleeping Cole Adams because you guys have mentioned him plenty of times inside the comment box as well. We've talked about Cole Adams. So, but it was surprising to see him come out with the first team guys. Again, that could have been by design to throw people out. It doesn't matter. Like, whether it's Kobe Prentice or Cole Adams, doesn't matter. Like, each of those guys is capable. Offensive line, really, really solid. Running back doesn't matter. Bama Man's asking, when do you think they'll get their next natty? Look, not being fancy, but why not this team? And look, there's some things that this team certainly has to work on. I'm going to tell you about the kicking game. I think the defensive secondary will be challenged early on, but they're probably getting better every single day because iron sharpens iron, right? They're going against these wide receivers. And like I said, the offense is ahead of the defense. Malachi Moore, talked about him. He's the next great DB. Let me ask you. Type M inside the comment box if you have kind of like you see Malachi Moore as kind of one of the next great members of the secondary. Malachi Moore, type N M for Malachi inside the comment box. I'm excited. Man, I can't wait because see, look at all these M's. Malachi, man. And you know what? The great story about Malachi is, Brian Branch. He came in. It was Malachi was starting, and then Brian Branch like kind of just turned it up and took his spot. Never heard him complain. He didn't say anything. He just waited his turn, and here he is. And it was really nice to see him, signing autographs. And I know, his mother's very active on social media, really proud of him. And to have another son on the team, how cool is that? That's amazing. I'm sure they're super proud of their children. I wanted to give Tim Keenan some appreciation. I might be one of Tim. If Tim Keenan had a fan club, I'd be on it. I'd be in it. I saw, I tweeted out a picture of him at 326. He was catching the ball. Did you guys see this? He catches the ball and he's like running down. Looked like a wide receiver. Or someone was like, put him at fullback. And then somebody inside the comment box was like, get him in goal line situation and feed him the ball. Why not? All right. You excited for Tim Keenan? Type T for big Tim Keenan. It is Tim Keenan the third. All right. Who's excited for Tim Keenan? Let me see a big T for big Tim Keenan inside the comment box. And you know what I like about Tim Keenan too? Is he's wearing like a number that fits him, 96. Like, I'm glad he's not like number 2 or something like that. He's a big dude. Give him a big number. Everybody excited about Tim Keenan inside the... Yeah, T3. Caitlin, I like that. T3. All right. Okay. The secondary, look... From Patriot in with 5 fan funderships, and he gifted them to CD, Pressure Washing Services, Joseph, Derek, and Antonio. Now you guys are all members of Bama Football on YouTube because of Patriot Life. So thank you, Patriot Life, for continuing to support the channel right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Let's talk about the secondary. Now, as I mentioned, the guy who was beat was fact is Ryan Williams beat Deshaun Jones. Deshaun Jones repping with the ones most of the day during Alabama's scrimmage. So on Saturday during like an official scrimmage, the number ones corners read like this: Damani Jackson and Deshaun Jones, Jalen Mbakwe also getting in the rotation. Xavier Brown was a first team guy yesterday, but I think in the scrimmage situation, considering he has a club on his hand, he wasn't, first team guy with on Saturday in the scrimmage. I think going forward, Xavier Brown's probably going to be that corner. But I think if I'm looking to attack Alabama's defense, I'm going right at the secondary. I know they got one returner coming back. I'm testing everybody. I'm testing Damani Jackson. I'm testing Xavier Brown. I'm testing Devontae Smith. He didn't start last year either. As good as Devontae Smith is at the Husky position, I'm going after him. I'm going after Keon Sabb. I'm going after Malachi. You know what I'm saying? So, like, the secondary, I think, is behind. But, I mean, come on, these guys aren't bad. I mean, it's players at Alabama. I was watching them yesterday, and there's plenty of playmakers all over the place. Red Morgan, don't forget about him as well. So, if there's any, Tim Keenan, Kevin said 6'2", 326, crazy. Yeah. And like I said, Deshaun Jones, has an opportunity to be a starter. I think there's still competition. I think you're going to see a lot of guys rotate in that secondary position. The special teams report, we talked about this on Saturday during the actual scrimmage. Now, I had reports come in. Again, I didn't see the scrimmage. I did see yesterday Fan Day, which was open to anybody in the entire world. He looked better on Fan Day, and I'm talking about Grant Nicholson, the transfer from Miami of Ohio. Now, during the scrimmage, looked a little shaky. From what I understand, he was 3 of 5, missed on some short field goals, and I heard that, you're going to miss Will Riker. Now, that's a scrimmage. The guy's coming in. Could be pressure. I don't know. Connor Talty was 2 of 2. Chris from New Jersey said he's going to be fine. I agree. I think so, too. So yesterday it was pretty vanilla. They kicked some field goals. He made some field goals. But during the scrimmage situation, he was 3 of 5. Now, he did hit a 48-yard field goal. I don't know. I've heard that he has a bigger leg than Will Riker, but I guess we'll have to see. It's Graham Ponderosa. What's up, man? I appreciate you being here. War Changes. I appreciate you. Thanks for being here. Brent is saying, Kyle, please calm my fears about the ball being snapped. Okay. Oh, very good. I like this. So when we were, watching, footage yesterday during Fan Day, The offensive linemen were working with, it was the centers that were working with the quarterbacks, okay? And it was like some of the best footage because they were just snapping to the quarterbacks. I saw one bad snap yesterday during fan day. Now, I didn't see, there was probably, I don't know, 20 plays that they did. Now, I think they had, 100 plays on Saturday, and I heard there was one bad snap. And I think each of the snaps came from Joseph Ionita. I'm not sure on Saturday, but on Sunday, from what I saw, it was from Joseph Ionita. He snapped the ball over the quarterback's head, and that was to, well, if he was the third team guy, then that would have been Austin Mack. Can't remember who the quarterback was, but the snap was Joseph Ionita, because I even heard people behind me talking about it as well. But I ain't see, in terms of just regular snaps, I ain't see an issue with snaps. So if you're trying to calm your fears in terms of that, I think you're good to go. These are photos courtesy of the University of Alabama. This is from the scrimmage. This is Dylan Lonergan right here. He's a quarterback that, repping with the 4th team right now. Here's a photo of Kendrick Law. Kendrick Law right here going against Deontay Lawson. Didn't get much intel on Kendrick Law, to be honest, from the scrimmage. You know what? Everybody was asking if Alabama's going to wear these kind of bubble hats for the actual season. I think somebody's doing it in the NFL. I don't think they're going to do it in college. This is just a precautionary measure against, concussions. This is Brayson Hubbard, very, very talented member of the secondary. This is Deshaun Jones. He's in from Wake Forest, right? The transfer in. You got a bunch of transfers in that secondary. Keon Sabb, Damani Jackson, right? You want to take it a step further. King Mack, right? Cam Howard. That's 5 guys that transferred into the secondary. That's why they're probably behind, too. CJ Dupree, right here, caught a touchdown pass from Jalen Milroe. This is probably it. And then you have Big Tim Keenan right here. There's Freddie Roach behind him, a very talented defensive line coach for the Alabama Crimson Tide, played here. Yeah, Chris in New Jersey saw Kool-Aid, right, working with the Saints. Here's Austin Mack. Some people have said that he's 6'7". Someone said he's 6'8". Someone said he's 6'6". I don't even know what he's listed on in the roster. Here is Ty Simpson. As I mentioned earlier, he threw 2 touchdowns in the scrimmage and looked fine, to be honest, on Sunday. And I think, if it came down to it and he had to have, some real opportunities, Ty Simpson is very capable to lead this team where it needs to go. Kevin is saying, I live in Charlotte, Kyle, and the Carolina Panthers use those helmets in some practices. Yeah, and I heard someone used it in some games. I wasn't sure on that. This is Red Morgan. He's leading back, catching the pass. He's the 2nd team Husky for Alabama behind Devontae Smith. And then here is Danny Lewis. I would say he's probably like a 3rd team type tight end right now at this point in time. And this is Xavier Brown. This is right hand, so the club is on his left hand. And, as you see, he was participating in Saturday and on Sunday. He's a freshman. Here's some great photos of Fan Day. This is, again, courtesy of the University of Alabama. This is Jalen Milroe signing autographs. So you could go and, if you're a member of Yay Alabama, which you can do, I think it's like $18 a month. You can sign up. Here's Caden Proctor. Look at that ink he has on, man. It looks really good. I think he has Lank on, I guess, forearm or something like that. This is Ryan Williams. If you go to Athlete's Thread, you can buy Ryan Williams gear. That's the only one I've been able to find that has like actual gear. Here's Malachi Moore. Yeah, and you know what? Milroe had a huge line last year. I remember, nobody wanted like Tyler Buckner autographs. Felt so bad for the kid last year. Here is Welcome Formby and CJ Dupree. That's Alabama's starting offense. And then here's Jam Miller on that busted coverage play, scoring a touchdown. That was a wheel route where he caught the touchdown. CJ Dupree one more time, and then behind him, Caden Proctor. This is more first-team action. Just kind of go through the photos. I know you've been seeing a lot of photos. Sometimes there's not like the context put behind the photos, so I'll talk about that, and then we'll continue to move along. Here's Deontay Lawson. Deontay Lawson primed for a monster season. Remember, Alabama probably has, 3 starters at the inside linebacker position. Jahad Campbell was, resting and recovering yesterday on Sunday. This is this is Justice Haynes. This is from the scrimmage. Look at this photo right here. I mean, this is Alabama's offensive line. My goodness. See, all the guys are there. 74, 77, 75. Man, that is just such a huge offensive line. There's Big Tim Keenan. So let me go up top again, and we'll kind of I'll run through the depth chart one more time and kind of give some updates on how these guys did. This is my game balls on how these guys fared this past weekend. I did a really good job. By the way, the team is open. They're off today because they scrimmaged on Saturday. Then they had a fan day on Sunday, so they will be off today and then back in action on Tuesday. And I believe they have another scrimmage this coming Saturday. Again, remember this is a football month. August 31st. Is the first game of the season against Western Kentucky. Quarterback depth chart, we talked about the quarterbacks, Milroe, Ty Simpson, Austin Mack, Dylan Lonergan. Running backs, guys kind of in rest and recovery mode on Sunday were Jalen Milroe and Richard Young. But I did see Richard Young in some of the footage yesterday that I uploaded. Justice Haynes getting pretty much the majority of the reps. And then Daniel Hill, I mean, if you're out there and you're buying stocks, Daniel Hill, buy all of it. You know, I was kind of, like I said earlier in the show, I was curious to see how he could run at 241 pounds. No problem. You know, still haven't seen too much of Kevin Riley, but, man, those first three, or those first four running backs, man, Daniel Hill, I'm telling you, man, I was just blown away with his performance. Tight end depth chart, so much rotation here. Probably C.J. Dupree and Josh Cuevas, were the guys, each caught a touchdown. Danny Lewis was out there probably working with the third team. Jay Lindsey is a freshman at the University of Alabama. He's 255 pounds as just a freshman, right? And then Robbie Oots, of course. It's amazing the athleticism that somebody has at 270 pounds. Then again, you're like, well, Tim Keenan's 326, and look how he moves, right? The wide receiver depth chart is C-Dub is saying Hill had a sling on yesterday. I'll check that out because the photo, the video that I uploaded, it was Hill. So let me check that out. It had to be him, unless it was like another 40. So thanks for that, C-Dub. I appreciate it. The wide receiver depth, I talked about that. I mean, guys not listed even on this chart. Caleb Odom, or like Jaron Hamilton, and no disrespect to those guys. Like, it's just like that. They're just so deep. Offensive line, we talked about them as well. Let's talk more about the defense. We'll come back to the transfers in, how they're doing in the freshman report. We'll get a fresh update later on this week. And let's look at this defensive line. So as you know, LT Overton, had a really, really good game. But this is kind of the defensive tackles. Tim Keenan, Tim Smith, Jaheim Otis. Saw him out there. He was moving around really well, by the way, Jaheim Otis. James Smith and Damon Payne. That bandit position, LT Overton, telling you. Bama hater, what's up, man? I see you inside the comment box. When are you going to give me predictions of Bama's last 6 games? I'll concede and close one to the playoff contender Mercer. Dude, that back-end schedule is tough. Yo, the back-end schedule is challenging for Alabama. Like, woof. Man, games on the road to Tennessee, games on the road to LSU, games on the road. Look, I know, you know what? I was kind of, maybe I shouldn't be surprised, but when I talk about Oklahoma, people aren't worried about Oklahoma. Not to say I'm worried about Oklahoma. I just think, a top 25 team on the road. Brett Venables is a good coach. He's beat Alabama before. The past does not equal the future. I'm just, I don't know. It'd have been a lot better if Dylan Gabriel would have stayed. But LT Overton right here making some plays yesterday. Jameer Lathan, very good. And Keon Keeley now at that bandit position. The Wolf position, these guys are absolutely stellar. We highlight these guys almost every single day. Q Rob, Keanu Coate, Quay Russo, Yanzi Pierre, Noah Carter. Noah Carter just got, that room is just, it's crazy. The DB yesterday, this Saturday that was working was Deshaun Jones, Jalen Mbakwe. Xavier Brown was working with the threes during the scrimmages just because he has a club. Tim Keenan is actually a friend of the family and has been huge like that. You know what? It was crazy because Tim Keenan was he was like $4 bills. I never thought he was going to play here. I just was like, I didn't think that he could get, to the position that he is today. Man, that's one of the best stories of fall camp is Tim Keenan. Hey, Caitlin, thank you so much. I'm like a visual type person, so I need, to kind of like put things out. Hey, B-Wood, I appreciate you becoming a fan funder. Thank you so much. Deontay Lawson, Jahar Campbell, Justin Jefferson. You know what? I saw Justin Jefferson going through drills yesterday, and he's 15, but I had to like double check. And I was like, because like who was moving like that fast? And it was Justin Jefferson. Kevin is saying, like Coach Saban used to say, you can't take away the team for granted. You are never guaranteed to win regardless of who your opponent is. It's sure, right? That's the whole like, crap through a tin horn, right? In the Bama safety depth, we highlighted Malachi Moore. Keon Sabb absolutely crushed it. And Devontae Smith doing his thing. King Mack and Red Morgan. I mean, man, all these guys in the secondary, you know what? I didn't really see too much of Red Morgan, and I'm gonna go back and watch that clip on Daniel Hill to see if it was him or not. I haven't heard any of those guys are banged up, but I appreciate you guys pointing things out. And if there's any like omissions or misspellings, I always encourage you guys, just let me know inside the comment box. I am responsible I create the graphics, so I like type everything out. And I might have a misspelling or I might miss somebody, so it's okay. I'm human. Just let me know, and I'll go ahead and fix it, and I appreciate it. Kind of coming back to the top, though, that was a scrimmage intel and the report. Again, Alabama is open today, and, we'll cover news as it happens right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Mr. B, what's up, man? You've been a member for 7 months right here on Bama Football on YouTube, man. That's amazing. Thank you so much for your continued support. You know what? I haven't got an update on Jalen Hell. I think the last update came on him during the springtime when, Coach said that, so Jalen Hell was injured during spring football. And I think it was a pretty good injury, lower leg. And I think, he's making a lot of progress. Even Jalen Hell has went on social media. By the way, follow him. You guys can give these guys support. Positive, uplifting messages, and he said that he's kind of on the road to recovery. So I haven't really got an update. I don't know if he'll play again this season, but who knows? I mean, if anybody can bring these guys back, it's Jeff Allen in that athletic training group. And I say that because like there were guys that had high ankle sprains last year that came back within like a week. He builds like fake hamstrings, right? There's now this thing called the hamstring apparatus that they could build, so I wouldn't put it. I'm sure they're working on him every single day. Cody, what's up, man? See you inside the comment box, man. Thanks you very much for being here from Knoxville. He's a Texas fan, and if you could honor Cody inside the comment box by hitting him with the horns down, I'd appreciate it. No flags on the play here for throwing the horns down. Jeff, I see you, and Caitlin, thank you so much. I appreciate it. So let me ask you. Kind of on my board right here, 1 through 8, pick 2 that kind of make your ears perk up a little bit. Is it, Milroe? Is it, the second quarterback kind of report? Is it the offensive overview and how the offense is going to look? Is it Cole Adams? Is it Malachi Moore, the next great DB? Kind of maybe, I wouldn't necessarily say secondary concerns. Maybe like, is the defense behind the offense, which I think is absolutely true. Or is it the special teams? Look at those horns down. Love them. To me, I think it's probably just the depth of the offense continues to blow me away. Just how many guys they can get in rotation and how good these guys are. And then I guess the secondary. Like the secondary, they need to tighten up. And I think they'll be ready to do it. Cody, it's all good, man. No, they got the dub. They came here and they won, man. It does sting. Still stings. Jeff is saying all the above. I appreciate it. Thanks for the feedback, Jeff. Ponderosa, thanks for being here. And like we continue to say, secondary will be tested. And if you were just joining, Patriot Life, man, appreciate you being here. These are Alabama's first 4 games. It's a football month, right? Western Kentucky. What I like about this schedule, and you know what? I'm kind of wondering, too. I was thinking about this yesterday. And there's a whole bunch of logistics. I'm not on a logistics team. I was just thinking, wouldn't it be cool if you did A Day at night? Or wouldn't it be cool if you did, Fan Day? I mean, they could. I wonder how they could have done that. They could have done it on Sunday. But did a Sunday night deal. Because I'm telling you, what Alabama, number 1, it would be much cooler. But number 2, it would be cooler because of the lights. Once Alabama added this new sound system and these lights, it became, because there for a while, other programs might have had a better atmosphere. Once they put these lights and they put this DJ in, man, the night games here at Alabama are amazing. That's why I like this these first games. I get it, that game at Camp Randall, it's at 11, but that's an away game. But the first 3 games that Alabama has at home, they're all night games, right? 6 o'clock, the sun will start, it will still be the second half. The second half of that game will certainly be, in the dark, under the lights. Same thing with USF. And then that Georgia game under the lights. Woo, man. I can't wait to see Coach Saban for game day. They're going to put him on the spot, right? Oh, one thing that we didn't talk about, too. I didn't even mention it. Did you see that Damian Harris is going to be a part of the Crimson Tide Sports Network? That's amazing. You know what? He is really, really talented on air. He's got that big smile. He is super articulate, knows the game, played in the NFL, did an amazing job here. I can't wait to see Damian Harris, report from the sidelines. That's cool. Good for him. That's a big deal. Christian Miller, he did a really good job too. Appreciate it, Bama man. Thank you so much. And like I said, go support all the content creators, the different YouTube channels. You used to have to kind of pay for like this type of information. And now, you can pay, or a lot of it is free. There's just so much information out there, and that's cool. This is a changing of times for information. There's pay sites, there's free sites. But Alabama, most of everything is free. ESPN covers Alabama. They used to have Coach Saban's press conference on ESPN. That was the only one that you could watch. Early point spreads look like this. I'll update it once we get closer to kickoff. But Western Kentucky, Alabama's favored by 31 points. 31 and a half. Let's call it 32. South Florida, favored by 35. Alabama's going to do whatever to Western Kentucky, but Alabama owes South Florida something, okay? That game last year gave everybody heartburn. Let me ask you this. Type Y inside the comment box if that South Florida game pissed you off. If you were upset for anything, I know you always get upset for any type of game, right? We're fans. But were you at any point in that game pissed off during that South Florida game? Type Y. I don't know why. I really want Alabama to beat South Florida by, type Y, Y, W, I like the letter Y. That game was frustrating, right? Everyone was mad. And then what was worse about that game is it paused. So you had 30 minutes to just sit there and you're just pissed off. I went to that game. Really cool stadium. I had never been to Raymond James before. Awesome stadium. And it was beautiful before, and then it rained. Yes, Robert is saying what every Alabama fan is saying. He wants Alabama to beat. You know what? I'm sure Coach Kalen DeBoer has watched that game, a bunch of times, kind of getting an early look at South Florida. See, Chris was saying he's freaking out, but I think the team, I wouldn't be surprised if the team be like, look, can we just beat the brakes off these dudes? And you know what? Their coach even said something too. See, Lynn, what's up, man? Hey, Lynn, before I get off the show, give us type in the special teams report. What'd you see from the kicker? Lynn is a former Alabama player and a member of the Undefeated right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Great dude. Jimmy, I appreciate you being here. See, why? Thanks for being here, Ray. And Greg, what's going on? And then the game against Wisconsin, I don't know. Sometimes I think about that game will be challenging just because of a road game. Then in the past, I'm like, but Wisconsin, they never have an offense that scares me. Their defense is pretty good, but you do have Colin Hitchler, who came over from their program. These guys have coached against Big Ten teams before. I don't know. Sometimes I think about that game. Sometimes I'm not worried about it at all. I don't know. And then you got the big one. These are just the first 4 games, just, looking at the schedule early on. I appreciate the 227 up in the house on this fine Monday. My name is Kyle Henderson of Bama Football on YouTube. Also on Spotify, you just type in Bama Football on YouTube, podcast form, whatever. And don't be alarmed if you see the show running again during the midday point. I replayed the show just so more people could see it. A lot of people can't get in at 9. Maybe they listen to it on lunch break, whatever. So appreciate. Don't be like alarmed if you see it goes off. But as news happens, I got you covered right here on Bama Football on YouTube, whether it's videos, shorts, also on Facebook, Instagram, all that place. But like I said, go support all of the great content creators, and people that are working to bring you Alabama Crimson Tide football coverage. They do a really good job out there. And then the big one against Georgia. I don't know if that line has moved. The line that I saw was Georgia's favored by 3.5. Look, do you agree with me? See, Brent is listening right now at work. Appreciate it, man. Do you agree with me on this? Does Georgia have all the pressure in this game? I get it. Alabama, the pressure for Kalen DeBoer is crazy because he's taking over Coach Saban. So anything that he does is going to be, under a microscope. But let me ask you this. Does it feel like all of the pressure is on Georgia in this game? Then following up with that special teams question, I felt like the scrimmage number 1, he looked average. He didn't look like the guy who beat Will Reichert. See, exactly. That's what I heard too. He kicked better on Sunday practice. Glenn, 100,000,000%. Thank you so much. Co-sign on that because that's exactly what I heard too. Yeah, see, Bama, man, you're right. Georgia was supposed to, they were like the unbeatable team. That's a really good point. If you rewind back to the SEC championship game, it was Georgia. I think it's the same thing going into this game. And a lot of that will be depending on how Alabama plays these first 3 games. They both, Georgia has the first game against Clemson. They each have a week of extra preparation, which I love, before this game. But they have all the pressure, especially Kirby Smart. T-Rob, right? Man, that game already has energy. You could already feel energy from that game. They're missing some guys, and they got some guys returning. But they entered the season, winning the last 31 of 32 games or something amazing like that. But I think all the pressure's on them. And look, and like I always say, and I'm going to say it, that game is at a perfect time in the season for Alabama to gain some incredible momentum from it, no matter the outcome. So the pressure is still on Georgia. And the fact is, after Georgia plays Alabama, you're going to be banged up. That game is going to be a war. They still have to go onto the road to play Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin, who, by the way, Alabama doesn't play this year. And they have to go on the road also to play Austin. So Georgia finally has a tough schedule, being that they have to go to Oxford, Tuscaloosa, and Austin, Texas. It's a tough schedule. Can't wait for that game, though. This is a football month. August 31st. Yep. Brock Bowers, man, he's a beast. Saw they lined him up at fullback. One more thing I'll hit on. Bama in the NFL. I'm sure you guys saw, Kool-Aid with the Saints. You saw Terrion Arnold with the Detroit Lions. Who saw Will Reichert hit the game winner for the Vikings? The Vikings picking up Will Reichert was brilliant. The Vikings picking up Dallas Turner was brilliant. He had a quarterback sack as well. I can't believe that Dallas Turner went, what did he go, like 17 or 19? And Chris from New Jersey is also saying that Jermaine Burton caught a touchdown for the Bengals. Right? And prayers up for DeMarco Hellams, who was injured. But other than that, I mean, Bama in the NFL. And a lot of these guys aren't playing because it's preseason or whatever. But Will Reichert, man, I kind of already miss Will Reichert. Jimmy saying Georgia's schedule is brutal. 100% agree, man. Good, because last year they didn't play anybody. Last year's Georgia schedule was like laughable. And honestly, if you look to the front end schedule of Ole Miss, it's pretty easy. The back end, there's some games, but I think teams that should, have a really good opportunity to get to the SEC championship should be Ole Miss and Texas. Look up their schedules. I mean, but yeah, that's kind of the NFL quick hit. I appreciate you guys being here, and thank you for supporting me right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Every day at 9 a.m. Central Time, replay at 12, and on Spotify after the show, after I load it, news as it happens, TikTok, Facebook, X, Twitter, wherever you get your coverage, Bama football on YouTube. I know there's a lot of great content creators out there that are covering the Alabama Crimson Tide. Go check out their coverage, support them, support whether it's a big channel, whether it's an individual who's just, starting out a YouTube channel. Please support them. Give them the same type of support that you guys give me. And I appreciate it. There's a lot of people covering the Alabama Crimson Tide that do this for a living, and there's plenty to go around. So I appreciate you guys, and I hope that you guys are off to an amazing Monday. I'll be back as news happens right here on Bama Football on YouTube. I really hope that you have enjoyed this morning segment on Monday talking about the Alabama Crimson Tide. Thank you very much for continuing to support the channel. Think about becoming a fan funder. Only $2.99 to support the product right here on Bama Football on YouTube. From Tuscaloosa, Alabama, Kyle Henderson, Bama Football on YouTube. Oh, yeah, Miller Forrestal caught a touchdown as well. So one more time, from beautiful Tuscaloosa, Alabama, Kyle Henderson at Bama Football on YouTube saying, have a good Monday, back as news happens right here on